quarterly returns is affecting the authority's accurate data for management reporting and decision-making. He called for cooperation between all government agencies as well as the private sector for a collective purpose to serve all Ghanaians.
We currently have 217 active free zone enterprises. Cumulatively, the free zone enterprises have made and achieved an export earning of over 27 billion United States dollars, employing about 32,000 people directly. And out of these 32,000, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to announce that 31,000 are Ghanaians. These are impressive achievements, and I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate your contribution towards the development of the Ghanaian economy. We really need this at this particular juncture. Now, by virtue of being free zone enterprises, you are part of the investors who are focused on spearheading Ghana's export-led industrialization program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to remind you of the Ghana Free Zones Authority's role, not only as a regulator, but also as a facilitator, ensuring that we all work together to yield maximum returns. Nevertheless, as a gentle reminder to our partners, some companies have not yet submitted their quarterly returns, some are indeed quite late, and also with regard to the audited financial statements. This lack of submission of quarterly returns is affecting the authority's accurate data for management reporting and decision-making.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Free Zones Authority, Ambassador Michael Okwei. Meanwhile, the Minister of Trade and Industry, Alan Chirmatin, says his ministry is ready to support Ghanaian traders to thrive beyond the shores of Ghana under AFTA. Let's hear him.
Government, since 2017, at the beginning of the first term of this government, has embarked on a very aggressive program for industrial transformation. And if we are going to focus on investments, then I believe that the starting point for us is to look at the key areas or the strategic areas for investments that will reboot our economy, particularly after the effects of the pandemic. And so we've identified 10 new strategic sectors, anchor sectors, which we believe can diversify our economy away from cocoa and gold. And I'd like us, as we start reflecting soberly on how we reboot our economy, how we bring in more investments.
And that was the Minister for Trade and Industry, Alan Chirmatin. In other stories, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, has said the authority would engage Cabinet to remove some taxes on liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, to make it more accessible and affordable to Ghanaians, especially the poor. Dr. Abdul Hamid gave the assurance that he would make a case for tax exemptions for some time for investors who would be establishing cylinder bottling plant in the northern part of Ghana for them to have maximum returns on the investment. The NPA boss made this known in Accra at the launch of an awareness and sensitization campaign to promote the use of LPG. The aim is to discourage the use of wood fuel, firewood or charcoal and increase the LPG penetration for domestic, commercial and industrial activities from the current 37% to 50% by 2030. Dr. Abdul Hamid said the launch of the LPG campaign was to make LPG affordable, available and accessible to the Ghanaian people. In other stories, stakeholders in the logistics chain have been informed that the ocean freight market is correcting itself at a faster pace than anticipated. Shipping firm HLS recently noted that the peak in the market, according to Alan Barr, CEO of All USA, began from the second quarter. The market may have reached the low point in November, he said, but added it is still too early to tell if it is the trend. Despite the spot market collapse, the major shipping lines reported nearly $122 billion in profit over the first 3 quarters, according to Sea Intelligence CEO Alan Murphy. Trade data shows a decline in Asia import to the U.S. by 11% year-on-year in October, which built a September decline. The ocean freight contract market, tracked by Zenith's Global XSI, recorded a drop of 5.7% in November, the third month in a row rates have dropped, and the largest month-over-month decline recorded since the launch of the XSI in 2019. According to Peter Sand, chief analyst at Zenith, Sand expects the challenging environment to continue, given the 40% drop in Chinese manufacturing orders and logistics managers expecting demand normalization to not occur until next summer. If you just joined us, you're listening to Maritime and Port News. The U.S. container port are headed into their winter lull as a holiday season nears the finish line and retail import continue to wind down. The National Retail Federation, an earlier than normal holiday shipping season this year, means most holiday merchandise is already on store shelves or in warehouses, resulting in December cargo volumes at the nation's major container port that are likely to be significantly below records set earlier this year, the NRF said in its monthly Global Port Tracker report. Monthly retail import repeatedly broke records this spring and hit a new all-time high of 2.4 million TEUs in May as worries about potential West Coast disruption led many retailers to bring in cargo early this spring and also prompted the shift to East Coast and Gulf Coast port. But import have been slowing since August, a few months earlier than normal, as retailers felt significantly stuck for what is shaping up to be a record-breaking holiday shopping season. On this note, we'll wrap up this morning's edition of Maritime and Port News, proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in all your shipping solutions. Contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. My name is Nanesi Boateng. My producer, Kwekwa Bwaji. Have a great day.
Spanish garlic mixture and the capsules. A boa moja dia fusani when you